And this is a chance to hear an update on our Via Migrante program. As you all know, you who are friends and supporters, Via International is dedicated to promoting sustainable development in under-resourced communities. And the historic work of Via has been in Baja California with our sister organization, Los Niños de Baja California. And so across many decades, Los Niños and Via had developed a model and a method of sustainable community development, which has been wonderfully successful. Elisa Sabatini and Rigoberto Reyes, longtime staff members at Via, were instrumental in building this model of community development out. And over the last couple of years, we've been running an experiment to really try to learn in what respects these proven models of community development could also be of service to the more recent arrivals in Baja California and in Tijuana in particular, specifically among migrants, people arriving to Tijuana from the south, and among deportees, folks who have been returned forcibly from the United States to Mexico. So we've ended up calling this program Via Migrante. It's an initiative to roll out the proven models of community development developed by Via International and to engage leaders and communities of the migrants and deportee populations in Tijuana. Aida Amador is going to share with us about the program, and she is leading this initiative as the coordinator of the Via Migrante program. So I'll turn it over to her. Aida?
Thank you, John, and thank you everybody for being here. I'm going to put on the chat a little more information about our program. Right now, it's going to be a brief update, but if you want more information, you can see the link later on. And I'm going to share my screen as well. There you go. So this program started developing in early 2020, and that's when the pandemic occurred. So what happened is that we started working internally with the program, and in 2022 we started the program in 2 shelters. The first shelter that we're gonna talk about is Casa de Luz. This was not in person, it was by Zoom with the promotora, myself, and Casa de Luz, which is an inclusive community, inclusive house in Playas de Tijuana. And these are some of the participants of the program. Right now, Iris and her son Farid are living in Washington. Laura in the middle, he's living in Vegas. Liz and her son Vladi, they're in Massachusetts. Lulu and her three daughters returned to Honduras. And Ray, he is still in Casa de Luz. He's been in Mexico for 4 years. Unfortunately, he cannot cross yet. On the second page is a graduation of the ecology program that Los Niños de Baja California has been doing for more than 35 years. On your right, you see Irving, who is the director of the house Casa de Luz, and then you see some of the other members of the house. Most of them, they already crossed, as I can see. I think the only one here that hasn't crossed is Carlos, who is the third one on the right, and Ray, who is the second one. Everybody else, they already in the United States, which is great. The second shelter that we have is mothers. It's not a shelter, sorry. It's a community center for deported mothers and families. This was in person. Our promotora Griselda, who has been a fantastic part of Via Migrante, who was the one who coordinated this program. And I'm happy to report that 2 of the members, which is Maria Esther and Rebecca, are part of our microcredit program that is run by Los Niños de Baja California. Silvia is part of Border Church. You can see her every Sunday with her daughter at Border Church. And Vanessa, who is in the middle, she is the director of a shelter for deported men in La Colonia Libertad in Tijuana. And we right now, as we speak, have a ecology program with them. This is the graduation. On your right, you see the director of the community center, Marikuki. And then on her left is Rebecca, who is part of our Escuela Amistad from Via International. And on your left, you see our community promoter, health promoter, Griselda. This is another shelter called Movimiento Juventud 2000. It's for families. There usually are between 80 and 100 families in the shelter. And we had that course last year. This is the manager, the one who runs the shelter, who is Jesse, who's also a migrant from Honduras. And then we have our promotora, Griselda. And the next picture, I love it because this is my favorite promoter, who is Mago, who is Griselda's mom, who is 82 years old. And she is one of the best promotoras I've ever seen and had the pleasure on working with. And this picture is a piñata that we got the kids for Dia del Niño. And right now, Jessie, she is back to Honduras. She left on December because right now she has her Mexican residency. So because she has that, she is able to claim her 3 children that are in Honduras living with her with their grandmother. So hopefully she's still there. Hopefully she is able to bring them to Mexico. And this picture is one of the first pictures that it was taken from Campamento La Esperanza at El Chaparral. The person here is the director of Casa de Luz, Irving, who was the one who, when we were having our class nutriecology at Casa de Luz, called us and said that he was gonna use the program and the menus that they were offered from Los Niños to Casa de Luz and implementing them at El Chaparral because they were affordable, nutritious, and he decided just to stay at the camp, live at the camp, and create the migrant kitchen that we actually continue to run in, well, with Casa de Luz and Los Niños de Baja California and Via International with the program Via Migrante. So, and this picture was a year ago on Sunday, last Sunday. It was a year since the Camp El Chaparral was at Camp Hope was at El Chaparral. And I think it was 2-3 weeks ago, the government of Mexico just at 4 a.m. started knocking at all the tents and telling them they had to evacuate in 10 minutes. They could only bring was what they can just hold. Half of the people at the camp were children, and they were just relocated to different shelters. This is the day that with our Los Niños de Baja California and Via International brought toys to the kids from the camp who were going to school. They had a school with people from the camp. They were 2 teachers, and all the kids were going to school. And so we kind of rewarded them with toys. This is some of the toys and the kids at the camp. This is the migrant kitchen. You can see Gris and Jorge, who was part of the migrant kitchen. He was the first who started cooking 2,000 meals 3 times a day until he left to to the United States. So he was a great asset at our migrant kitchen. And here is right now at Border Church. We have Ruth, Wendy, Ray, Griselda. In the back, you can see Dan a little bit. And then there's Robert from Casa de Luz, Robert Vivar, Vero and Tati, who are in the United States right now. Vero and Tati, they already crossed. Right now, we can see Wendy, we can see Cindy at the Migrant Kitchen. This was in the anniversary of Friendship Park. In the back is our health promoter, Lupita, who right now is working with another shelter called Volviendo a la Patria. Cindy and Wendy, 2 weeks ago, surrendered their kids. Right now, they're in detained in Texas. One of them is going to go to New Jersey, and another one that is going to stay in Texas with relatives. So at that time, I think 10 of the kids of Casa de Luz, 10 kids from Casa de Luz went either to the United States without their families or returned to their home. So it's been a hard time from Casa de Luz because they are mourning, well, the last of the children. This video was taken this Sunday. This was a group of Colombian people that were detained for almost a day by Mexican Migración. They didn't give them information of what was happening, why were they detained. They didn't provide food, they didn't provide anything. As you can see, they have kids there. So what happened is that Casa de Luz gives them temporary shelter until they figure out what's the next step. On this next video, Irving, the director from Casa de Luz, is saying that they are not part of the government, that they are free to go, they are not detained. They are also welcome to stay if they need food, if they need water, if they need to talk to relatives. They have a phone they can dial internationally to wherever country they're from. That if they needed to go anywhere, they could provide transportation, that feel free to stay there. This is a safe place, and whatever they needed, that just please ask, and they would do whatever they can for them to feel comfortable. This was Sunday when our migrant kitchen is taking place. When they came here, they stopped doing everything that they could. The people from Casa de Luz, Wendy is there, just saying that they are welcome, that whatever they need, they please just let them know. They ask for food, they ask for coffee, for strong coffee, because they're Colombian. And yeah, so it was great just to see migrants helping migrants. It was great just to see the empathy and the love they give to one another. So, okay, so the next, sorry, I just feel my heart just melts. This is our last shelter that we're working right now. It's Volviendo a la Patria, which is the first ecology program that we do for men. We were kind of scared because we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know if they're gonna like it, because the director, who is Vanessa, who took the class last year with Madres y Familias Deportadas, she encouraged us to do the class there, but we didn't know if actually they were gonna like it. They've been great. It's a really dynamic group, full of laugh, full of a lot of work. Mostly Mexican deportees. We have one Haitian man, one Haitian woman, which actually tomorrow we're gonna have a Haitian dish that they're gonna prepare. And this is something that we love about the ecology program. It's very different because of the community that we serve, depending on who we're serving, we do the traditional dishes of their home country. And that's another thing that I think they really enjoy doing, because they can make a part of themselves. This is one of the pictures. This is Señor Fernando. These are the group doing, I think it was tacos de soya that time. They are doing a garden, so they have a composta class and that picture. And of course, I have to brag about my kids, so I put this picture. Thank you so much. Thank you to all our supporters, all our donors and friends. Before I forget, I just want to mention what we're doing right now, this 2022. We're continue to do our ecology classes. We have our migrant kitchens every Sunday with in collaboration with Border Church and Casa de Luz. We have therapy 3 times a week with a fantastic student from Iberoamerica who has been a great support to the community, especially in these times. And also with students from USD, we're gonna do a cultural orientation workshop. We're gonna start, we're gonna start mapping our friends who already crossed the border, just to see what they're doing, what's going on, what's happening. That's the great thing about relationships, is that we continue to have conversations and continue to be part of their lives, and of course, them part of ours. And another thing that we are so excited to do is they're going to start working on a catering business, because they've been doing this migrant kitchen for almost a year. So I think I think and they think that they're ready to put it on the next level and do that self-sufficient sustentabilidad business for themselves.
Thank you so much, Aida. And thanks again. The list there is a growing list of supporters of Via Migrante. The International Community Foundation was listed there. UMCOR, which is the United Methodist Committee on Relief. We just learned that the Bronner Foundation is supporting again for another year. We're in wonderful conversations with the Presbyterian Disaster Assistance, the Presbyterian Church, kind of equivalent of the United Methodist Relief Organization. So we have a wonderful network of supporter and so many individuals who donated last year to the Migrant Kitchens campaign, which really was a critical step in kind of rolling out these relationships with the shelters that Aida has introduced us to. So thank you, Aida, for your work. Thanks, Elisa and Rigo, for the team of Via Migrante that works and meets weekly here at Via. And thanks to everybody who's supporting this wonderful program.